Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode on Laid Back the Atorezinga podcast. And our topic for this week is barriers to health promotion. And our guest for this week is Associate Professor Faatihah and Niyi-Odumosu, who is a doctor and an academic in healthcare science here in the UK. Hello, Prof. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi, good evening. Thanks for having me here tonight.
Yeah, but this is the question I asked everybody. So, is this your first podcast?
Oh yeah, this is my first podcast. Somehow strange, but we get there.
Finally. So what are your expectations?
Okay, no IT issues, right?
Yeah.
Very smooth one, and in a laid-back manner.
Fair. All right. For first and foremost, before we start, I want to say congratulations again on your recent appointment as an associate professor. Easy.
Thank you. It's God's doing. It's God's doing. Anyone can be an associate professor. It's God doing.
Yeah, but it's God doing. But you must have put in a lot of hard work into it as well.
But
so
with the blessing of God, it manifested. I need to reinforce that.
Fair. But what has the academic journey been like for you?
Sort of a roller coaster feeling. Sometimes you are really, happy, fulfilled that you chose this journey, and sometimes you feel a bit, downcasted in terms of what achievements you'd have laid down, the steps you need to take to achieve such. But there's specific barriers you would face, and it will take time to overcome it. But each time you overcome such obstacles, you get better, you get more confident and more fulfilling. So yeah, it's all of a roller coaster feeling. That's all I have to say. Some high, some low, and midway at times.
Yeah, but hopefully onwards everything will be at least high. No more lows.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. But yeah, so let's get right into it. So your research is centered around physical activity promotion in chronic non-communicable diseases like diabetes, cardiovascular disease.
Yeah.
So is there a reason why you chose to focus on these particular diseases?
So my PhD work was on promoting exercise/physical activity on patients who have non-dialysis chronic kidney disease. These are patients that have not progressed to end-stage renal problem as to warrant dialysis. So we explored ways to reduce the progression across the stages of kidney problems so that they will not end up requiring dialysis. And it's been proven that exercise or physical activity promotion or engagement within this group of people could help save their kidneys from being set to dialysis. So that was what my PhD work was all about. And after post PhD, I actually embraced some other projects that has to do with health promotion through physical activity. So right now I'm moving away from clinical oriented population or projects now into community involvement. And now I'm looking at ways to tackle health inequalities and promoting health through physical activity promotion. Emphasis is on the underrepresented group at the moment. These are population who have, low participation in several research due to a lot of barriers, which I will share later on in this podcast. So my current projects are ways, sort of diverse approaches to promote health through physical activity and using various measures. So I work with robotics engineer to develop user-centered design interface to promote physical activity among older adults. I do work with some industries as well who are into manufacturing mountable sensors, which you can put on the walls of care homes or in your homes, that helps monitor physical activity, levels of physical activity, your sitting time, and could predict falls in some instances among older adults. So we're looking at ways whereby we can promote and sustain physical activity and social connection. So when it comes to physical activity, count me in, but it's not limited to one approach. I use different measures to promote health through physical activity.
Okay. Yeah, but you keep saying to promote health promotion, health promotion, health promotion. So, according to the WHO, health promotion is a process of enabling people to increase control over and to improve their health.
Yeah.
But in your own words, let's forget WHO now.
Yeah.
What does health promotion actually mean to you?
So health is a sort of holistic view of not just your physical well-being, but just also mental, environmental. A lot has to do with health promotion. So I will view health as a holistic approach to ensuring someone's well-being is improved.
Yeah.
So it's not just physical, it's not just mental, it's not just social, but that's multidisciplinary approaches to promoting well-being or quality of life of people.
Okay. But so when we say health and well-being of people, what can we say are the determinants of health, and how can we actually assess these determinants to actually give an insight into the burden of this particular disease, non-communicable disease that you are interested in?
Yeah, so we have a lot of determinants of health, and one of it is the environment, the physical environment. Another thing is the social and the economic well-being of the environment.
Yeah.
And lastly, individual characteristics in terms of how you individualize your health and behaviors, your behavioral pattern. So in the context of someone, my own health and well-being could be different from your health and well-being. Do you understand? So health and well-being is being tailored to one social, physical, economic environment, as well as individual characteristics of anyone. And the individual characteristics of any being is also linked or subject to cultural beliefs, religious beliefs, and some other things. All this is a big thing.
Yeah, but do you think because I keep seeing somewhere that like culture or ethnicity actually affect influence how people actually their health behaviors, not their personal characteristics, but their culture and ethnicity actually influence that as well. What do you think about that?
Culture. It depends on I do agree with what you've just said, because culture has a lot to do with how a person or an individual perceive things. So and culture is also linked to language as well. So and these are all barriers to health promotion in different population. So look at the people that are immigrants in this country. You can't compare their health relative to those that are born and bred in this community or in this part of the world. So there are a lot of factors have been linked to that. We have the genetic predisposition to how people perceive things as well. And not just that. The language diversity as well could contribute to how you perceive it, and could be a barrier to health promotion as well. So religious beliefs, there's some group of people that are keen to follow through what their religious leaders say, if it's against health promotion or not, so that is also linked to possible barriers to health promotion within a group of people or population.
Interesting. You did mention that immigrants, like when you compare them to people who are born and raised here, you see that their health behaviors actually differ. But because I noticed your major focus is on underrepresented groups, the elderly, the ethnic men. Is that why you chose to focus on these groups? Why do you think these groups actually need health promotion more than the rest of the world population?
Okay, The aging population is a big thing because somehow it's been projected that the aging population would triple the normal, population, because we have everything that works with us, you know, well well supported NHS system, even though we are a bit, shaking out right now. But I mean, compared to other parts of the world, NHS is still the big deal. So the aging population, the older adults, we tend to have more older adults. And the fact that these older adults or these elderly people do grow old, and at a point in time, their children, grandchildren tend to not stay with them. They are left alone. They are a bit isolated.
Yeah.
And during isolation, they tend to, engage and, be physically active. They are more confined to their homes, and that has been shown that it has actually affected their physical capacity, their level of social engagement, which are all contributing factors to health.
Yeah.
So my focus on older adults is the fact that these population are increasing in number every time.
Yeah.
And they are not involved in research. They are confined to their homes.
Yeah.
And on the long run, in years' time, I mean, I don't need to say in years' time to come, the population of older adults, I mean, compared to middle-aged, is more. So we need to look at measures to save these people and to reduce health burden by saving them through health promotion, by engaging with them through physical activity, and ensuring that they do connect with other adults, which will help with their quality of life and mental well-being. On the long run, this will reduce burden on the NHS. They will be more, healthy. And that's one way to look at it. The other way to look at it is the fact that we would also grow old. So if there's no system in place to support older adults, it's a ripple effect. It will come back to us.
Yeah.
So it's a way to save our future as well.
Yeah.
So some of the projects I'm involved in is ensuring I use or I explore various approaches to reach out to those underrepresented groups.
Yeah.
Through physical activity. Because when you're physically active, you go out there, you engage, you talk to people, and not just improving the social connection. There's a lot of benefit of exercise and physical activity on almost every system in the body.
Yeah. I understand the elderly people and the aged people, because when they're children, like you mentioned, grandchildren leave them, they become isolated and a bit lonely. Yeah. But what I don't understand is why women don't take up physical activity, because women are one of your focus groups. So why do you think the women don't take up a lot of physical activity?
Oh yeah. So there's a lot to do with women. These are the special breed. Let's talk about the natural factors or barriers. Hormonal levels. Hormones could be contributed. In a certain age of the woman, you tend to gain weight due to a specific hormone, and sometimes when you age in women, they live a sort of not sedentary life, but more of a stereotypic life that is focused on keeping the family together.
Yeah.
So you hardly find a woman that would have time for recreation. I am someone like that. So most 24 hours is not enough for any woman, because it's all centered on ensuring every member of his or her family. The unmarried ones are still fit. You see a lot of unmarried women, ensuring that they have that they maintain their weight, but as family sets in and you start, making your own family or building your home, you realize that there seems to be less time, to not just engage physically, to also connect socially.
Yeah.
So that's on the long run, detriment on the health,
Yeah.
and particular focus mental health of women. So and that's why one of my passion and research experience is in exploring perceived barriers to promoting physical activity among women. So we have different populations of women based on the age. We have premenopausal, menopausal, postmenopausal due to hormonal influence. We also have some sort of cultural beliefs based on ethnicity of women. We have the white women. So if you see a white woman, majority of white women compared to a South Asian or black woman are more active. So as for instance, the South Asian, particularly the Muslim woman, due to religious belief,
Yeah.
we believe that engaging in physical activity outdoor, it's not a modest way. Is it to think about what type of wear you want to have to cover your revealing parts. So the type of joggers or sports wear I wear, a Muslim woman would prefer, is not available as compared to the other sport wear.
Yeah.
So that could be a limitation. That's one.
Yeah.
The other thing is it's very rare for a married Muslim woman from the South Asian community to engage in outdoor activities with other, opposite sex, like men or so they tend to, engage in a well-restricted they do engage in activity, but probably just women. So these are all cultural and religious beliefs, and somehow these are perceived barriers to promoting physical activity, and that would have effect on on health as well. For the Black and the South Asian, my emphasis and my passion for exploring this group of people is they have high predisposition to non-communicable diseases chronic lifestyle diseases like type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease. It's been shown that it's genetic predisposition as well as what they eat, lifestyle factors.
Mhm.
So this summed up together, you would find out that a South Asian woman and a Black woman will struggle with promoting health through physical activity compared to a white woman.
Interesting. So, but in general, I know you've compared the women because of religious belief, cultural, the Black and ethnic minorities as well.
Yeah.
But in general, like looking at the whole population, like everybody now,
Yeah.
what are the barriers to health promotion? Are there some social, political, or financial barriers? Like in general, looking at everyone.
Yeah, so in general, there's a lot to say about barriers to health promotion. But the first thing that is revealing is cultural barriers linked to ethnicity.
Yeah.
So things like language barriers, could limit some people to express themselves or to call for help, without interpreters. And I'm glad interpreters are within NHS side, but it's not, it's not as preferable compared to someone who understands and can speak in English fluently. So that is one. And another thing is isolation, like I've said, within a group of people, and uncertain immigration status could limit.
How?
So uncertain in the sense that, as it is, not everyone has a stable or a stability in immigration status. So and things like that could limit calling for help. One of the things that could also limit, or cause a barrier to health promotion is the actual health education, the awareness. That when you are experiencing this is what you need to do. This is what steps you need to take, or how can you prevent such to be better in health. That is that. I wouldn't say poverty, but poor living or working conditions is a cause of social barriers or economic barriers to health. And like I said, um, so not just the physical and environmental barriers that I've mentioned earlier. So the type of or the area you stay as well. Although we are in the developed world, but there are specific areas that you stay that's based on postcode or what is linked to social status, and that could also have an influence or could influence the health of anybody. So there are a lot of things that could limit health promotion or health and well-being, but the main things are the key points I've mentioned, which is, I would say that again, the environment you stay and the physical well-being of such, and your individual perception to reaching out or to assessing health. Some do have access, but some do not just think it's necessary. And language as well is also a main barrier, which a lot of immigrants do face. Cultural barriers as well. And so that's what I can say for now. But these are teams which have sub teams and which could be linked to individual health and well-being. So my barrier to health promotion could be different from how you perceive your barriers to health promotion.
Interesting. I know you mentioned
the project I'm involved in, which I'm leading in terms of the research, is how to engage this group of people with cricket. So we're looking at taxi drivers, we're looking at women, we're looking at specific underrepresented groups among the South Asian and Black communities. And because cricket is a very good sporting activity which a lot of South Asians do enjoy playing, but they hardly have time for this. So we are thinking of developing a model appropriate for this group of people and ensuring that such platforms are available. Not just available, are affordable and accessible to this group of people, irrespective of their age, their ethnicity, their cultural beliefs, and their sex. So, and hopefully with this, on the long run, this will promote the physical activity engagement among this group of people, and not just that social connectivity among this group of people. So all this do contribute to health and well-being of anybody.
Okay, interesting. So you mentioned that within these communities they have ties back home, so they end up working a lot, not just to get their nuclear family, but also extended family back in their respective countries. So do you think there's anything we can do to encourage or improve health promotion within the workplace, since these people are always working, you see what I mean, in the workplace? Is there anything we can do in the workplace, like to create healthy work environments, maybe to encourage them to take more 10,000 steps a day at work, or anything else, like at least to enhance their physical activity while doing this job, because we all understand that they have to work together for their families.
So I mean, somehow this group of people also do engage in sedentary work. Look at the taxi drivers. These are mainly South Asian men. Look at the security guards. These are mainly Black and South Asian men. And they sit to watch CCTV cameras, and just sitting. So it has to do with a tailored approach to individuals' preference. So it's not a model that will work for everyone. And this is all linked to all the barriers we've mentioned earlier. But above all, I think health educating is the best and the most basic step to take. And that is why there is a webinar which I founded, which is on aging lifestyle in Black, specifically to Black and South Asian community. And this webinar is all about empowering these communities through health education, where we invite speakers to give talk on different topics on how to promote health and well-being and how to avoid or prevent chronic lifestyle diseases, which we have high risk of developing. So there are so many, there's a long list of approaches to explore regarding how health and well-being in this group of people. But I do believe that health education and tailored approach is the most effective way.
Oh, okay. So you've mentioned the cricket thing you founded in Newcastle, and other incentives you guys have come up with to actually see how you can help these groups of people.
Yeah.
But I know, but just thinking outside the box, are there other things you think, like just thinking outside the box? Now, I know you mentioned the things you've done that you think that can be done to remove any impediment that's blocking them of actually engaging in physical activity. Anything else, like you think that would be easy, like we talked about, like encourage them to walk more. You said lifestyle. So is there anything else you think outside the box that can to help them to actually do more physical exercise
So one thing is to also engage the religious leaders or is it community leaders, because a lot of South Asian Muslims do go to their temple. South Asians go to temple, mosques, so could we involve these religious leaders, and could they influence how this group of people perceive health and engage in physical activity? That's one approach. The other approach is could we involve their family, which is one of my projects on being sponsored by Innovate UK on promoting intergenerational physical activity. So we're not looking at just the men only or the women, we're looking at grandparents, parents and children. So because this group of people, they do, have time, apart from the time they go to work, they do love spending time with their family, even though such time are not available. Could we optimize that time, to engage with them to engage with their families through physical activity, through using cricket, outdoor activities, and having that approach on a regular basis, could that help with or prevent the emergence of chronic lifestyle diseases among this group of people? That's another approach we're looking at. Another thing is the so-called taxi drivers, although they sit, could we get something to help engage their upper limbs, or when they are seated or waiting for passengers, could we tell them to reduce their sitting time? Because it's been shown that less sitting time could actually prevent emergence of cardiovascular disease. So could you just start with just reduce your sitting time? When you're not driving, can you stand up? Could you look at that? Could you explore just that, or could you just focus on just standing? Not talk of walking. So those that have the opportunity to walk around, could we ask them to target the 10,000 steps per day and increase it as they can manage it. So it's all about tailored approach and preferences of people. If you do not engage with these people, there's no way you can get an effective health promotion by talking to a group of people. So it has to do with tailored approach, and not just tailored approach, so also looking at the person holistically. Does the person have underlying clinical problem? Is there any genetic predisposition, any family history of type 2 diabetes or cardiovascular disease, hypertension, any family history of stroke, things like that. Is a Muslim or Christian or Hindu, things like that. So it's all about just having, it's not that easy. How many people would have that opportunity to be talked to by a GP every time and tailored approach on physical activity? But everything, to me, I feel health education is the most basic thing. If you're aware about your health and you know how to access facilities or information on promoting health, you can actually empower yourself,
Yeah. But because I think people within these communities need to know that they have high chance of getting these non-communicable diseases, because it may trigger them into taking more action to actually inculcate more physical activity into their schedule. I agree with that. But because of time, finally, like, if now I say, okay, you know what? Let me give you the mantle to focus on just one of your focus groups. Is either you take the women or the elderly or the minority group, just one group, right? And say drive health promotion program in Swaziland, in particular. Swaziland. How would you go about it, and which particular group would you focus on?
Wow. So I would be biased by focusing on.
Biased, so I'm guessing you go for the women.
I mean, not the women, ethnic minorities, because that involves the men and the women.
Yeah.
So, and I would prefer to catch them young, irrespective of their ages. Yeah. So, and that approach, I cannot do it alone. I need to link them up. I need to link them and contact their religious and community leaders. Without them, I cannot effectively take this tailored approach.
Yeah.
So, and then I would, through the community and religious leaders, I will reach out to them and have a one-to-one, engagement on what their preference is, and then randomly group them. I hope there is sufficient funding and reason to cost my time.
Fair. No.
This is a big deal.
Yeah, because if you're giving the money, don't worry, we'll give you a lot of funding. Okay. That's not a problem.
And not just the fund, a lot of support system in terms of research associates to help me out with all this.
Definitely.
Okay, so then I'll group them, and then such preferences will now be our focus, and above all, health educating this group of people in various approaches and manner based on their preference would be the first step. And subsequently, I would tell them to tell me. I mean, I would explore what their hobbies are, and through their hobbies, we would look at a tailored approach to engaging them in physical activity. Physical activity is not exercise; it's not structured, it's not repeated. It's just any form of bodily movement to increase your health and well-being. It could be dancing, it could be swimming, it could be walking, it could be jogging. So whatever hobby they prefer, we would tailor that, and the aim is to achieve the WHO recommendation, which is about 150 minutes per week of moderate to gross intensity level of physical activity.
150 minutes per week.
Yeah.
So
that's like 30 minutes per day on alternate days.
Yeah, but that's under 3 hours a week.
Yeah.
I mean, that's small, though.
That's small, but that's the basic.
But a
lot of people do not get to that level.
Maybe I'm being biased now, considering what I do. Because I actually go for walks 30 minutes to 1 hour, and I play football.
And is it every day?
Not every day. I may walk. I might go for like 3 or 4 times a week, and then play football Saturdays. But still, so maybe from my own personal view, I feel like that's too small. But if we can actually encourage people to actually get to that 150 and then use it, that would be lovely.
Yeah. And not just any type of activity, moderate to vigorous physical activity, not light activity. So your walking might be a big man's walking, not brisk enough. A laid back, a laid back walking.
So what's the difference between laid back walking and brisk walking?
So when you walk briskly, you could feel it. You could feel that, that exhaustion, that shortness of breath, that part of you. You know. Unlike the laid back walking that African men and women,
Yeah, that we do, yeah.
that we do. So that's not walking. So
fair. But anyway, thank you, Prof. Because this is all the time we have for this week. Thank you so much for giving us your time.
Oh, you're most welcome. I didn't realize this is over 40 minutes. This is indeed laid back.
Yeah, exactly.
I enjoy this. I wish I could continue talking.
Everybody says that, but so you should come back and do more.
Of course, definitely. The only thing is that is missing, and there's no refreshment.
Don't worry. Next time you come to the studio, when we create the studio, then you can actually have anything you want.
And next time, I'm not going to sit down with you for 40 minutes. We will both stand up.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Arinze. Thank you very much for having me.
All right.